what is your just pitch on what this place actually is?
An automotive facility and lounge that caters to a premium automotive experience for our members. This is Late Garage. We have the late nights, which is our meets and community things, and then we have the late, starting in January, a lounge that can be used for just hanging out, getting work done. Our toolboxes have every socket from 4mm to 36. Someone wants to come in and do for whatever. We have the tools for it. We have the equipment. It's the ideal environment where you're hanging out with everyone that's just like you, and whatever you need to get done, we have.
Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby. It's a new era.
Welcome back to the Circle Drift podcast. Again, thanks to all of you that stop in every single week for a brand new episode and continue to support, especially moving into the new year. So I hope all of you had a happy New Year's and you have some pretty ambitious goals moving into 2026. Go ahead and drop them in the comments and let me know what you have planned. But today we are actually going to be talking with Wesley Cloud, a longtime friend of the podcast. If you've been around for a while, you've seen some of his previous episodes, but he's here to talk about something pretty new, and that would be Late Garage. But since you are here watching this episode, they wanted to give back to you guys a little bit, and whenever you come in for the first time, just let them know that the Circle of Drift sent you, and you will get a free hour of bay time to come in and do any upgrade or maintenance that you need to do on your car. So as always, I'll leave their information and everything in the description so you can check it out and reach out to them personally. But I know a lot of you guys are looking to get into drifting or maybe just further the skill level. And one of the best ways to do that, obviously, is through sim drifting. And lucky for you guys, this show is presented by SimHQ. So you can always save 5% off on your next upgrade or maybe an entire rig, especially given that it's off season. Really nice to stay brushed up on your seat time. But that's pretty much all I got for this one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the podcast. So we got Wesley Cloud. How are we doing, dude?
I'm back. What is this, number 4 or 5?
I'm going to guess 5.
I think 5.
I'm almost positive.
Becoming a New Year's tradition. But yeah, we're here at Late Garage, my new facility. I'm really excited to be here with you.
Yeah, dude. We'll get into kind of what this is. Obviously, there's a bunch of lifts and stuff back here. What are those lifts, actually?
Bin pack.
Those are bin packs?
Yeah, they're the GP10Cs. They're 10,000 pound. You can use them asymmetrical, symmetrical. Really, really easy lifts to use. They've been great for us so far.
Sick, dude. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll get into all this stuff and kind of what this place is. It's very interesting. One of the first of its kind, I would assume, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
There's stuff like it, but I think we've done a pretty good job of doing something different with the lounge that we're sitting in. That's definitely a little bit different, and just the overall atmosphere and the things that we're offering, I think we're definitely different enough to where even if you've been to one of those other facilities, which they're really far from here, like they're California, Washington State, I think is about as close as you get.
Yeah, big cities.
Yeah, it's just. We have such a cool culture here that we've created, and all of our members just really get along, and it's just our we call them late nights, our meets that we have. It brings such a wide variety of the entire Nashville car culture. We got supercars showing up. We got classics like NSXs with big turbos. We've got McLarens. We've got drag cars. We've got GTOs with a big cam. We've got M3s, M5s, like everything. Every little subculture of the car community, we've somehow broken through all the barriers that I thought existed from my previous experience, going to the meets and stuff when I was younger. Everybody loves it, and everybody comes here and hangs out, so it's been fun.
Well, obviously the social media has done incredible. So, is that the only thing y'all have really done to kind of push this place?
I mean, yeah, we've spent no money on marketing. Everything that we've done has been completely organic. I think we put $10 behind an Instagram video before we were even open, when we didn't really have when this was just a concept. It was just a concept. Right. We didn't have content. We didn't have a facility. We didn't have a building at one point. But we had, we had our business formed. We had the legal part done, but. You can't film people working on cars in a facility that doesn't exist yet. And it's hard to come up with content that's engaging without showing the actual product.
Yeah.
So we tried to do outreach and stuff. We went to an event at Beach Bend, and we raffled off a ride in my drift car. Just people that came by our booth and learned about us and, gave us their contact information basically to be contacted later once we were actually a business to say, hey, come see us. They gave us their phone number, email, or whatever, and we're entered in a drawing. We sold our hats and our shirts, and that increased their likelihood. And ultimately, it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in giving someone a ride. It was just, it couldn't have gotten to a better individual. But just kind of, I guess, grassroots marketing, if you will. Just things that we thought
It's
would
almost
be
like UGC content in a way.
Yeah, in a
Very
way.
simple.
Yeah, really simple, and all the content that we've done here has been really, really simple. Not like high-level production or anything crazy, just like showing our lounge, which is behind the camera right now. But it's a cool place to hang out, and then you look over and there's a really well set up facility to get whatever you want done. I mean, we don't have any rules on what you can't do, like other than like the safety stuff. Like we can't weld, we can't. There's just certain things. Our insurance just they won't allow us to do welding. It's weird. Like we're such a different type of business, and we're so new that a lot of the insurance classes and stuff don't fit us, and we have to be very careful to stay in our box that the insurance companies give us. So, like we can't perform or provide any services ourselves as a business. Like we're not working on anyone's car. We can't. But as far as like someone wants to come in and do an engine swap or a transmission swap or whatever, we have the tools for it. We have the equipment, and if you want to pay for the hours to do it, then come do it. But so far, most of what it's been your basic performance upgrades that don't take more than like 8 hours to do. But we'll see where it goes. We're pretty new.
Obviously, my mind's like spinning on a bunch of problems that we could get into on that. But like before we go down that rabbit hole, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have considered this idea. So first, like what is your just like pitch on what this place actually is, if you had to describe it?
Yeah, we are a DIY facility and an automotive facility and lounge that caters to a premium automotive experience for our members. We have the most complete, I believe, set up toolboxes of anything like us. We have a lounge that can be used for just hanging out, getting work done. You can treat it like kind of a coffee shop. People go and do work on their laptop, where you can come do it here while people work on their cars, and where you can play Xbox on one of our giant TVs. Like it's just such a cool, it's like every guy's or every car person, I shouldn't really specify it to like, we have a lot of female interest here, a lot of girls with really cool cars coming in. We got one sitting over there right now. But just any car person's dream. It's the ideal environment where you're hanging out with everyone that's just like you, and whatever you need to get done, we have everything for, even all the way down to like the high level scanning ability. People can pull up and see what's wrong with their car before they have to book a bunch of hours. And like we can be very specific on, okay, here's the job. Here's what the likelihood of how long it's going to take. It can point out where the sensors and stuff, if there's a sensor bad, we can show them on our software where it's located. If it's at the back of an engine and things are going to have to come apart, we know that's not a 2-hour job. Yeah. So we can, guide them properly on what they need to book in order to get the job done properly.
So I assume you have like all the access to softwares like any mechanic shop would have to look up how many hours and stuff.
For right now, we're really exploring the Icon TrueFix software, the Icon T10 scanner.
Okay.
It's impressed me a lot. Like what it actually has systems topology, so you can see, what individual sensors are talking to what modules and where the breakdown of communication is, if it's an electronical failure like that. And then you can, like I say, kind of see in the software diagrams of where the sensor is, if there's a bad one, or common fixes for certain issues with codes that pop up. And it's updated by other mechanics and other people's experiences and stuff. And it's kind of a growing thing. But in our experience, it's been perfect. I mean, it's shown everybody everything they needed to know. And I've played with them a little bit outside of here, and it's like the only thing between, like, you get the Amazon code scanners or whatever O'Reilly's has or whatever, and it kind of tells you like the basic stuff. And then there's like the $25,000 or whatever, $18,000 Snap-on scanners, and there's not really like a lot between that. I mean, there's going to be people that argue with me or whatever, they're stuck on whatever, but for our experience, it's been great. Like, it's been really good. It's big tablet, wireless. It can do battery testing and a lot of more in-depth
I've
things.
Never seen much around it.
Yeah, I'll have to show you the thing before you leave. It's like got its whole big case. It's like it's
Oh,
like a real,
serious.
it's a serious scanner. It's not just a
And how
code
much did
reader.
you say they were?
They're like, I think normally they're $1,700-$1,800, something
Wow,
like
that's
that.
not bad.
But the next step really is like thousands more.
Mm.
And for the general, like, I guess if we were providing work for a customer, or if we were expecting people to do, OEM repairs on a daily basis, it might be worth exploring one of those higher level ish scanners. I haven't seen a reason yet for our purposes, and I think for the general DIY mechanic, there's never going to be
You're
anything
just
that.
giving someone an answer here, so
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's it.
it's mostly an answer. It's mostly a direction, a path to go down, and again, just an idea of like how long is this gonna take to
Mm.
fix, especially for most of these people have been fairly inexperienced mechanics, which is what we're here for. But you do have to kind of account for the, I guess, learning curve time that adds on to any job.
Well, yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true. I mean, I'm on YouTube 3 times a job if
Yeah.
it's something I've never done, especially. Obviously, we'll go a little bit deeper into some of the details and stuff, but I'm sure a lot of people are curious how something like this even falls in your lap. So where did this idea come from, or where did it all come from,
Yeah,
essentially?
it's actually a little bit of an interesting story. This whole type of thing has been kind of rolling around in my head for a long time, and from the feedback that we've gotten, it's been rolling around in a lot of other people's heads for a long time. And I happen to be blessed to basically acquire 2 business partners that were wanting to do the same thing, and I came in basically because of my experience in motorsport and because of my knowledge and what needs to be in a shop and what needs to be in a toolbox to get something done. Um,
How do you meet them, by the way?
well, that's an even more interesting story. So my one partner Luke, several years back, I worked with his soon-to-be mother-in-law in a real estate transaction, and
Oh.
we we were introduced because he had a C6 Corvette, an '05 C6 Corvette. For any of you Corvette people out there, you know what a death sentence that is.
Mhm.
It's been it's good now, but it's been problematic. But anyway, we were introduced because she knew that I was into Corvettes and he had one, and just really awesome guy. And we sort of have known each other for a while. And then he met our other partner Christian through another job that he had at a high-end car business, um, and so they were already kind of together working on this situation, and they kind of needed a little bit more of the technical side. That was kind of like the missing part of the trio that we now have. So I kind of was able to come in with some, I think, pretty good ideas about what needed to be in the shop and how that kind of workflow needed to look. And um, they kind of specialize in sort of other areas of our business, and we've worked together really, really well. Luke and Christian both have been fantastic partners, and it's just like it really, a lot of it has been just kind of luck. Like like we individually, I believe, lucked out on a lot of things, like finding each other as partners and agreeing on so many different things that had to take place to make this a reality. I mean, this was a bare shell of a building when we took it over. There was a few hundred bathtubs stacked up over there. This was it was a plumbing supply warehouse. The end. Like there was nothing nice about it. Was just a bare shell. Not a relatively new building, well insulated, the things that mattered, but we took it and transformed it into like this whole lounge didn't exist. We did the flooring, we did this cable railing, we did everything, like the drywall and building the walls and just like the drywall downstairs, and it was just such a project. But we got it all done in like 3.5 weeks. Like it was really, really, really fast, but it was 12, 14, 16-hour days every single day from the time that we got this building to the time that we opened. All 3 of us and my one partner, Christian's dad, we couldn't have done any of it without all of us doing that. I mean,
Well, that was about to be my next question, is like, because most people would want to just do something like this, start it on their own, and like that's probably not possible, I would assume, right?
I mean, if you just have
At least
way
at this
too
level.
yeah, if you just have way too much money or whatever, and you can
Fair, yeah.
pay everyone to do everything, that may be a different thing. But we had we had a budget that we had to work within, and we were able to do that because I cut these railings and drilled them into like anybody else would have charged I don't know how much to do that, and all this flooring, and like we had to pay to get the lifts installed because insurance and obviously that needs to be a certified thing, like that's a safety thing. And anything like the electrical work that had to be done, that was by licensed contractors and all that good stuff. But the actual build out and the time and the labor and all the hard work was us. So, yeah, I mean, you could do it alone, but you just have to have a lot more money than we did.
Oh yeah, I can believe that. How long did it take to even find this building?
Well, that was, I kind of have a little bit of a inside track on that because I am still involved heavily in the real estate business. So, we came upon this building, I guess from like day one where we said, all right, let's find the building, to the day we found this building was probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. It was really not that long. We looked at a couple other ones that weren't quite it, and we looked at one on the other street that we ultimately wanted to move forward on, but somebody else already had, and the building owner luckily had this one coming available, and I was able to kind of just figure that out by accident, just with a phone call in the right time. And we came over here that same day that we saw that one, and we were like, well, that's obviously perfect. Like, that's what we want. It was a little bit maybe smaller than what we would have wanted to start with, but looking back, like, this is a perfect first location to make sure this business works. Because there's been a lot of, I would say, learning experiences throughout, like, even before we opened the doors, just things that you think of, like, well, what if this happens? Well, what if this happens?
What were
Like,
some?
well, there's a car sitting over there that can't leave right now. Those were some of the thoughts that we had, and what we do about that. And ultimately, we're still working through that. I mean, this is the first one that's stayed as long as this one will. It'll be out of here tomorrow, I believe. But just that's probably the biggest one, really, because like at a point, if you have 5 cars in here, then you're basically not running. Like there's 5 lifts, and if nobody can do anything, that's a problem. But we've kind of worked through most of that, I guess. But the other things are mainly just kind of safety. Like, how do we make sure people don't hurt themselves doing this? How do we make sure people don't? Yeah, that's a lot of it. Like making sure that the information that we provide and the oversight that we have is adequate to make sure like what's taking place out here is within a envelope of safety. Obviously there's going to be mistakes and there's going to be some accidents and whatever, but we really want to minimize that to a oops, I cut my finger kind of thing, like
Just needs a Band-Aid, that's all.
Yeah. So that's I guess that's goal number 1 is safety. And that's been most of what we've thought about from the time we started putting this together, is like, how do we keep people safe, and how do we make sure that we promote an environment where people would just rather ask questions as opposed to doing something unsafe. And, because like sometimes it can be a little bit daunting to just ask for help, especially as like a guy working on his car. I've been in that case.
Especially if the shop's full.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
You
like
don't wanna
I've been in
embarrass
that
yourself.
scenario where I'm like, I can figure this out. Like, I don't need
Break
to-
5
I don't-
more
I
things
don't need to
along
ask
the
anybody.
process.
Yeah, I'll break 5 more tools, and we would just rather, and we hope that people feel comfortable to just, wait a minute, let's don't put that stand there. Like, that's not quite safe. And we have a
That's
book
gotta be
for-
hard to balance, because you're charging like by the hour, so people they're naturally gonna feel rushed.
Kind of. We have sort of some buffer times built into the beginning and end, where like your setup and whatnot is like not on the clock, to
So
where
like once you get the car up in the
yeah,
air or something.
hopefully we're not promoting too much rush feeling. Like, the idea is, again, to hopefully help people figure out from the beginning about how much time they actually need. If somebody says, okay, I'm doing all 4 corners, breaks or whatever, I've never done this before, I'm going to book 1 hour. We're not going to let them do that.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is we're catering more to our members, I guess, in a way, than just kind of the walk-in business, because our memberships offer such a discount where, like, if you're going to be here for more than like 6 hours a month or so, then the membership pays for itself, and every hour that you book is discounted, and you can upgrade to the Pro Bay and have all of our Milwaukee power tools and the specialty tools that you normally have to go and rent.
Okay, then hold on. Explain all the packages and stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
how they
fair.
work,
That's
'cause
kind of where we should have
That's probably
started.
just too confusing.
So we have just the base bay, which is the 10,000-pound lift, and everything in the toolbox, which our toolboxes have every socket from like 4 millimeter to 36, I think. torque wrenches, ratcheting wrenches, long handle wrenches.
Anything plus some they'd have in their own toolbox
Yeah, I
at
mean,
home,
really,
probably.
there's not been a situation that I'm aware of where something that was needed was not in the box. And if there ever is one of those situations in the future, I will literally go get those tools and put them in the box that day. Like, that just won't happen, because I know how bad it sucks to like get into a job and then realize, oh, I have to go buy this socket or this wrench or whatever. So I've tried to think of all the times that that's happened to me, and that's been my value to this business. It's like I've had a lot of that stuff happen to me over the years, and I think that these boxes represent a good way around most of those problems. So that's your base bay. That's, you get the box, the lift, and all that. Your pro bay is the lift, box, but then access to our Milwaukee power tool library. We got like the power ratchets, the drills, the big and the little impacts. So like if you need to bust off a crank bolt, we can do it, you know.
What if you just need it for like 5 minutes real quick?
Well, there's options to upgrade for like individual, like if you don't want to do the pro bay the whole time, but you do want like one power tool, you could still do that. We have little like add-ons and stuff that you're not like stuck to anything. But what we found is most of the time, someone ends up with a pro bay, they're happy to continue with it because they really like a power ratchet, or they really like, and like, you know, like
They love the luxuries.
yeah, it's
yep.
like, but, and it also, in a way, if by paying a little bit sort of extra for the pro bay, a lot of times people are saving enough time with our power tools and stuff to where it's like, it's kind of worth it, especially for things that's like, it's like unfastening a lot of little things. Like we've had a bunch of people removing bumpers and things, and they're like 45, 10 millimeters and whatever. Just, yeah, if you're sitting there doing, that's adding a considerable amount of time.
Now, obviously, I assume people are allowed to bring their own tools in too?
No.
Oh,
No.
shit.
No, we don't do outside tools. Insurance and all things combined just make that kind of not really a good idea for us. Much easier to track inventory when we, you know, it's, if other people's tools are here, then sockets can get crossed up and things can get, you know, it just creates an opportunity for things to get not necessarily stolen. Like our members and our customers have been exceptionally honest and really cool with our boxes, which has been, that was another worry. Stolen.
Given the area as well, not like to be.
Well, just,
I grew up here, literally down the road from
it's
this
not
place,
been a
so.
problem. We have really cool people coming here. That's like the number one thing that we found is like the average customer, the average, not even member, just someone that comes to an event or whatever. They've all been really cool people. They've all been really nice and just respectful of our facility, because it's something that I think a lot of people have wanted for a little while. And I think the general vibe is, well, let's treat it well to make sure it stays around. But we do have really, really, really good cameras that I can see. I can see the writing on the sockets that come out of every drawer. I know there's not going to be, there is no way someone can get out of here with something and I not know when it happened, because we know, we do a check-in, check-out. We know everything was in the box when so-and-so, whatever that time was, got here. As soon as we find out that one's missing, we can go back pretty quickly and narrow down when it might have happened.
It looked like a lot of the other buildings had a good amount of cameras.
A lot of the other,
too, so.
well, yeah, there's the whole road is kind of the industrial commercial. We're like one of the only places on this street that people actually come in and out of commonly. Like most of these other facilities are just like warehousing kind of things, or like the home base for a business that goes out and does services and stuff. So that's sort of helpful in a way. There's not a lot of traffic on the street that we would have to like sift through, you know. Like it's pretty easy to, between our cameras and all the other businesses, which we've kind of become friends with now, like this whole street's like a Fort Knox of cameras. But just within our building, like we have 360 cams that can see everything. We have cameras that go like in angles and stuff, so where it's like there's just not a blind spot in the building. And yeah. So that was like one of the areas that we actually spent a pretty good amount of money on. Like we didn't just put some Arlo cameras up, you know. We did at the first, like when we first got the building, we put some Arlo cameras in here just because we wanted to like have, you know, we had some tools and things in here just kind of waiting to be, like we didn't have toolboxes yet or anything. So we just put some Arlo cameras in here just for our own peace of mind. But again, this area has been actually really nice for everybody being pretty cool. So
That's awesome.
We hope that continues.
Yeah. Was there any other packages?
No, it's just base and pro.
Okay,
And then we have the 3 different membership levels. That's like I would almost tell you to just go to the website. Like we have the Club, Pro, and Platinum. The Platinum one is kind of the one that most people are kind of liking. It just kind of comes with the most stuff. And again, like if you're going to be here for more than 6 hours a month, it literally pays for itself. And it gives access to obviously the lounge and all the other events that we do. We have like movie nights, and we have a RC drift track coming soon on the floor. It's gonna be yeah, just like the whole thing has kind of been like, does it sound cool? Yeah, we'll do that. And like that's part of what members get access to. But also they can pull up anytime. They don't need a appointment. They don't need any time booked to use our air compressor, for instance, and check their tires, or just to use this, pull up and use the scanner, see if they want to book some time to fix a sensor or something. Then they can just do that without booking anything. But
If non-members would have to pay for all of that
non-members
stuff.
non-members would have to do we do offer a diagnostic. If you just want to use the scanner, you don't have to book bay time. That's kind of silly in my opinion. Like that was something that sort of I actually thought of after we opened. I was like, wait a minute, like if you don't know what's wrong with the car yet, why would you need bay time? So we offer just the diagnostic, and then air fill stuff is same kind of thing. But yeah, it's more of a community type thing was what we found for the members. Like that's what a lot of people have enjoyed more than even just the discounts on the bay rentals, like is just the events that we have. Because like we can put this place in dark mode, and there's really good sound throughout and a lot of screens, and we can have really good movie nights. We can play Xbox. We can do things like after hours that are exclusive events that you just don't, like there's nowhere else to do stuff like that. Like it's like a cool club, like like there's nowhere else to do that with like a bunch of your friends. I mean, I guess, if you have a home shop or whatever, but we're kind of here for the people that don't have a home shop. That's like the whole thing is like,
I don't like my home shop is nothing special. Don't get me wrong. I'm already don't have room. If I need it, well, technically I do need to. I need 2 cars I need to work on,
Yeah.
but I can only fit one in there. So like, I could see running in that predicament. Obviously, this place is like an hour away.
Yeah.
It's not logical, but yeah. Why did y'all choose this area, by the way,
Well-
and not like Murfreesboro or something like that?
we wanted a few different, man, that's hard to talk about. There's a few different reasons. It's like I wanted to say 13 different things at one time, because like really, there's not an immense amount of availability in Middle Tennessee for commercial real estate that would allow something like this to exist, or would even be conducive to it.
What are those variables that stop you? Like,
Is there good street access for like
okay.
reasonable cars? Like a lot of these buildings, they're gravel roads, they're potholes to, I mean, really bad asphalt. Like some of them are really bad
I grew
asphalt.
up here, big dog. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. All these buildings this is a 5-year-old building. That's one major factor, is just it was what was available, that was what we liked. Another factor was it's a really good midpoint between Murfreesboro and Nashville. Murfreesboro's cool, Nashville's great, but kind of somewhere in the middle has proven to be we get people from pretty far and wide. Like we have members that live in like Carthage.
What?
Serious. Like it's not.
Yeah, it makes me look kind of like a bitch.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. I wasn't gonna say it, but you push your car in a trailer and get here in an
I'll
hour.
say it. I don't give a
Dude
shit.
rides his motorcycle every day. But yeah, like there's just kind of been people from far and wide, like especially at our late night events and stuff. There's been people drive pretty good far and wide from really cool cars, McLarens, Lambos, all kinds of imports. It's been really, really varied. But I don't really know of any, like I said before, I don't know of anywhere else that allows that. Like there's parking lot meets and stuff, but we're not a wild environment. It's just come hang out. We're like the opposite of what you see on what a lot of the Instagram stuff, like takeover meets and whatever. That's kind
Which
of
a lot of that stuff
popularized.
happens like in this area. That's why I'm asking.
It can,
why
yeah, it
and
can
stuff.
be. I've noticed like a lot of in the past anyway. I haven't seen it a whole lot recently. I guess I've just been so busy building this thing and focusing on other stuff. But I have seen a lot of social media content from like the interstates of this area, and it seems to be there's like a lot of kind of street racing culture that has existed. I think a lot of the local Laverne PD and Nashville PD and Smyrna PD and all that. I think they've been pretty tough on that.
Oh, they've cracked down
Yeah.
a lot, and
Yeah.
like, dude, there used to be meets and stuff, 10 of them every weekend,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
nonstop. It's slowed down, but obviously that crowd is still revolved around. Everyone kind of in Middle Tennessee diverts to this area
Yeah.
for car stuff and
Yeah.
meets, and as far as like normal cars,
Yeah.
drifting is obviously opposite.
Well, yeah, but
We stay on the outskirts, but
I think a lot of what happened with, or what has happened with a lot of the street activity in this area, I think that kind of caused a lot of places that once allowed gatherings and meets and stuff to happen to say like, hold on, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Mm.
And luckily we have been able to have really relaxed, cool, everybody chill, hang out, look at cars come in. It works. So we can allow that. And if people ruin it, they're
I
gonna
was about to ask,
they're
do you
gonna ruin it.
have like a plan if that ever does happen?
Well, with it, once we hit a certain amount, we will have to have police standing by and whatever, like kind of on site. There is a number that you hit where you have to do that. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that we can do, and again, this road being so well monitored by all kinds of businesses, cameras. Like if anybody ever was to cause a problem, it'd be pretty easy to figure out who that was, and I don't know. Like it's just one of those things that we're gonna have to learn as we go. We do a pretty good job, I think, of sort of policing things. But again, everyone that's shown up has just been pretty cool. Like it's not been a, hey, we gotta calm everybody down. There's not really been there's not been an issue. I shouldn't say that out loud. That's the thing. Like I feel like I'm inviting.
Yeah, it's almost like you feel like you're jinxing yourself in a way.
But just I hope that what I feel is accurate, that people do just sort of respect what we've put together, and hopefully that's how they continue to treat it. I know we'll have some one-offs. I know there's going to be.
Yeah.
There's just going to be some people that just don't know how to act, but it's part of life.
It's always one of them.
Yeah.
So as far as like the people that are coming in here, are they? You mentioned more for the hangout and the vibes of the place. So are they more coming up here and like just hanging out, or
our
are they
members
actually...
probably? Yeah, I think member activity. Like we have a few members that are in here all the time that like got a membership for the purpose of being in here all the time, and they don't really spend any time up here.
Yeah.
But then we have people who like I don't know that they've worked on their car any. They just like to come and hang out. And like if that's the case, if you're not going to be spending a lot of time, like our cheaper memberships are probably the thing to do. Like it's you don't need to get the pro or the platinum if you just want to come and hang out. But that's why we offer the cheaper membership, so you can just kind of come and hang out, and it's like your own little work environment. If you want to treat it that way, you come here in any of our business hours and use the lounge to your liking. If nobody's on the Xbox, hop on it. Or if you want to use the Wi-Fi to work, then
I need a
do
sim
that.
up here bad.
That's kind of in the works.
Yeah,
that's definitely a plan of ours. We're actually probably going to do it downstairs though, just because we want to do like motion and stuff. There'll be fairly heavy rigs, and this being upstairs, we don't want to like overload one section of the floor.
The roof sag.
It would just not be ideal. And not that those things weigh like thousands of pounds, but we want it to be like that's like a concrete surface
dude,
down there.
My little tiny one is pretty stout.
Yeah, Yours doesn't move though, right?
Oh, it's on wheels, so like.
No, I mean like motion.
No,
yeah,
sorry, yeah.
like-
I know the motion ones can get pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Especially with that new VeraMotion one. It's like a platform, and it creates the side.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is like it will be a membership benefit to be able to use the motion sims, and that's why it's not a right now this moment thing, because we're gonna do a ride. Like
Yeah. I get
it's
that.
not like we spent enough putting this thing together. We need to like hold on, It's coming.
How many members are y'all up to now?
I don't
roughly?
actually know. I genuinely do not know. I've been traveling nonstop.
Well, that must be a good sign then, enough to not care about it.
Well, it's not that I don't care about it. I
focus on other stuff.
I've been in Canada. I've been at PRI.
Yeah,
I've
true.
been the last few weeks, and we've only been open since like November the 8th.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
was
it's like
pretty soon.
I just haven't stayed up to date on like a account. I have the app on my phone. I could check afterwards, I guess. I don't actually even know how to find the membership count. That's that's one of the things, like that's not my area of expertise in the business.
Yeah.
And so Luke is like the website booking workflow expert. He's created this whole thing of how it all works. And because like we had even trouble just getting, like when you book online, just getting it to understand like there was different lifts. So like, you have the schedule, and just for some reason Square, which is what we were using for the booking service, it didn't like that. So we ended up like each lift is an employee on Square, and
That's awesome.
there's like all these funny little things that we had to do. So Luke, I'm sure Luke could tell you exactly how many members of each different category right now, but I don't know.
It's not your thing. Yeah.
I should keep up to date and better on that. That's not being
I was just curious myself. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
because especially with how well videos have done.
Yeah, well,
and
so for
I'm
a
sure you
while
had
we were
people just
getting
jumping on it.
people just show up at the door almost every day for just to buy a membership, or it's been pretty cool. Like all the social media has done its job, but we may explore some other kind of more like traditional marketing here in the near future. I don't know
Yeah.
if we need it. I don't know. We haven't.
I would focus on just adding to the place more.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think you really need to.
Yeah,
Social media
it's
do
so far
most
it's
of it.
spoken for itself, because nobody's come here and not been able to get something done because of us not having something. Like we've had people have issues with like having the wrong parts or whatever, but you can't prevent that.
You're right.
Yeah, companies make mistakes, or people click the wrong box on a drop-down menu on Injuku Racing or on Drift HQ or on whatever, or on FDF or on any of these websites that there's like drop-down menus. I've almost done it myself. It's
Oh, I have.
yeah. You're like, wait, no, I don't have. Okay, I got an email to cancel an order.
Now, are y'all considering getting it, or actually, would insurance stop you from being able to sell parts and stuff yourself?
Kind of. We would have to have different insurance to be retailing stuff like that. It gets into weirder liability when you're supplying things that go onto people's cars that then go onto the road.
It's like choking you out of every extra way to bring income to the business.
We just have to exist for a little while, and we have to exist safely, and we have to work with insurance companies to create a class that will satisfy what we are. That's our goal, is to just continue to operate safely and make the insurance company happy enough with us to let us do that. That's basically what we were told by the provider, is like we just have to establish a little bit of a track record and establish, I guess, what they call a risk profile on what this actually is. Because we're not an automotive shop, technically. We're not a storage facility. We're not a, what are we, technically? If you had to define it, if you just had to like distill it down.
Well, that's why I asked you in the beginning.
Right.
It was like,
it's
what would you?
It's so hard to like give like an elevator pitch, if you will. Like I've done that before in like marketing classes and stuff, where you have to like summarize what you're doing and what you're selling in this like short little concise things where you could tell someone really quickly. But
like a mini YMCA for car guys.
Yeah, but it's like we haven't really even now, we haven't even talked about everything, because so this is Late Garage. We have the Late Nights, which is our like meets and community things that'll be for our members. And then we have the Late Academy, which is a monthly come learn starting in January. Pretty basic stuff. By the end of the year, performance upgrades. So you can come here as someone that knows nothing. If you have a membership of the right level, all of those classes are included in your membership. So once a month from January to the end of the year, you will learn how to do things. It'll be pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. We just haven't done it yet. It's not January yet, but it's coming.
That's
coming
great.
very soon.
Are you gonna, I assume, film and like post some of that stuff too?
Well, we kind of want it to be exclusive to our members that are paying for it. Truthfully, is my opinion so far. We thought about doing like an online version. I think that'll be largely very separate. I like the idea of being able to spend as much time as is needed with the students. We haven't figured out exactly what the cap on each class is, but it has to be a small enough group to where everyone that has a question gets it answered before they leave.
Okay, so what would one of those classes look like?
So starting out, we'd probably be doing basic. I think class 1 is really just going to be oil changes and checking your tires.
So
and
like
stuff.
that
Like
basic.
Because there's a lot of people we found that would love to do it, but have never done it before. And I really think that I know we're going to do some separate classes for the late ladies. So Late Ladies Academy. So because I know there's a lot of
flew right over my head for a second.
Yeah. So my wife and my wife's friends really, not my wife, she's pretty capable because I've helped her to be so. And she's just capable anyway. She figures things out. But her friends have inspired me to teach, like, what do you do if your car breaks down on the side of the road? What would step one be? A lot of single females or even married women or whatever are out driving around and would have no idea what to safely do. If your car starts to die, you're just going to coast to a stop in the middle of the interstate. What, like, if you haven't ever thought about it before, what would you do? So stuff as basic as that, as to, tire maintenance, changing your tire on the side of the interstate, things that I think would be helpful just in a general sense to know. But just there's a lot of little facets that you can go off of each one of these little sections of our business where, like, it's hard to talk about it in a short amount of time. We're trying to do a lot of different things, and like maybe one of them will take more time to develop than the other or whatever. But we spent enough time on I think on the front end to think about this stuff before we open the doors, where everything's gone fairly smoothly.
Yeah. Now, what is the next thing, the main thing y'all are focused on adding to it next? Because I'm sure, I mean, I'm sitting here while you're talking, thinking of so many things myself, and like I would be finding it extremely hard to nail down what to focus on, because you've got so much budget and stuff to work
Right.
with.
Well,
and
I mean,
manpower.
I think for right this moment, we've only been open for less than 2 months. It's the thinking right now is not like, let's change everything. So far it's been, let's make sure it all works.
Oh, I'm not saying change, but
no,
like,
I'm saying, like, we haven't really had a whole lot of stuff. There's the Sims and the this and that, like, that we really want to have as soon as possible. But there's not a whole lot of things that we're immediately focused on trying to add, just because we've found it to be fairly adequate for what we tried to put together. I guess if anything, our focus is on maybe making sure that this works so that we could do a bigger one. We hope that within 2 or 3 years that we could maybe double the size of this building, and
that'd be wild.
yeah, and then start exploring other
paint
markets.
booth, alignment rack.
There's a lot of cool stuff
Dude,
that we can.
that's what I'm
there's
saying, dude. My head's spinning right now.
In my opinion, the reason that we're not, like, focused on adding a whole bunch of stuff is, like, for this size of building that we're in right now, there's not a whole, I mean, there's room, but there's not a whole lot of extra room where you start adding this, that, and the other, where it starts to kind of feel crowded. Yeah, we just want it to, we want it to be a really comfortable experience for anyone that's working on the car or anybody that's up here in the lounge, because that's like, to me, the most important thing. Like, especially like wintertime right now, I hate working on things when my fingers are cold. Oh man, I just hate it.
Oh,
So,
I get it, dude.
like, nice and warm all the time in here, and just
I got a whole nother RV sitting in the shop, and like
yeah.
can't stand going out there, because every time I can, it's at night when it's freezing ass cold, and I have no insulation in the shop.
See, that's a problem. You gotta fix that.
That's exactly what places like this are for.
That's what we're
Ta-da!
here for. I told you, it's just an hour drive. We're well insulated, got gas heat. It's toasty in here. It's toasty.
Yeah. I think if it were me, I would, obviously you couldn't do it right now, but like how you're talking about for the next place in a couple of years, if you do grow that much, focusing on car storage.
Yeah, I get it. I'm there. I'm with you. We probably, if we had a few more 1,000 square feet, we probably would have done it here. But the actual, if you like look at what, just from a business standpoint, there are other car storage places, and the amount of money that they can charge to store a car, the lift is a better business decision over a storage, like.
No,
storage
I'm not
rack.
saying, so like,
But we do want to. I'm just saying, like, the reason that we don't have anything about that here, like, I had a plan drawn of a version of this building where there was like a 3 triple stackers at the back, just to, it's 9 cars that could go. It's not a whole lot, but ultimately the profitability of each individual lift is just better as long as they're used than what the monthly car storage fees could be.
Yeah, I wasn't even talking about, I was mainly just talking about like carports outside. Like it's cheaper, more affordable way to just store your car.
Yeah,
if
totally
you need
different
to for
facility.
a few months or
If we had like a few acres, but that's just like outdoor space. Like, that's just probably not something that we'll ever do. If we ever did storage, it would be definitely indoor, and it would be kind of more of a premium, higher end type of storage, hopefully. Not just like a carport. I don't think the market that we would be targeting, I don't think that they would be happy with a carport,
Fair point. Yeah. Well, cool. I mean, it sounds like it's doing pretty incredible. I mean, just by the look of it, walking in, you can feel I hate to say luxury, but it is kind of like luxury feel
Yeah, it's
almost.
nice.
It's not supposed
It's
to be
like
luxury, but
it's well, no, it is. I mean, it is. We wanted it to be a premium automotive enthusiast environment. Like that's what it's here for. That's exactly what it's for. Like we want it. It looks nice. It feels nice. It's a good place to work. Again, comfort in the lounge and in the work environment. It makes lounging better and it makes working better. Like if you're comfortable. So we focused a lot on that, and it's just we put it all together ourselves. So like we love when people say stuff like that. Like, oh, it looks like
it looks so bougie, dude. Like it's wild.
We did it ourselves, and like, but it is the feel that we wanted it to be. And I think the first time that we got to actually sit down and look at it and like play the Xbox and stuff, like it was pretty recent. It was just like, wow, this is really cool. Like it's what we wanted it to be. I love it.
Sick, dude. Well, how did y'all? So obviously the layout of the lifts, like what was the concept behind it, and like the Lego work you had to do?
Yeah.
Because we're obviously covering. I don't know if y'all can even see that, but we're covering a door back there. A
Yeah,
whole bay door.
I drew it up in. I basically did like a CAD drawing of the building and marked off space for like lift plus buffer space and moved things around and made what I thought made sense. And we were going to do one more lift. And just when it came down to actually marking the space here on the floor with tape on the concrete, it definitely could have been done, but it would have been a lot less comfortable. And that would not have been what we wanted this environment to be. So we ultimately got rid of one lift, kind of blocked that door, which we still have it open for our events and stuff, but it really wasn't necessary at that point when we reworked it, because the way we had it originally was sort of to drive out, but with the turn that actually has to be made and all that, it's less comfortable. So just easy in, easy out. We lost one lift. Yeah, sure, that's not great for your bottom line, but we basically gained 2 spots on the floor where if someone just needs to work on a sound system or something that doesn't require to be in the air, then they can work on there. Or jack stands, if they're already, if they're done with lift time and they're still got a last few minute things to do, then they can wheel the car over on our dollies and stick it up on jack stands and finish things off and a little bit cheaper.
For anyone that just needs that, but like doesn't have a membership, what does that cost?
We actually we've been changing that around, and I don't want to misspeak on this podcast.
Well, later you can say whatever you think it is, and just tell me later. I can correct it on the screen.
Okay. So what I believe we had been doing was like basically a $10 discount per hour for just ground level. I think we were trying to change that though, because it doesn't really make sense with some of the membership stuff. It's just like it's a weird stuff that you're learning after the fact, where like the actual practice of the business, where what you thought was going to work and what you thought was a great idea, when you go to explain it to someone, the first person you explain it to, they're like, well, what about that? And you're like, oh yeah, well, see, hadn't thought of that yet. It's just, it's like we're not, and we just like, we don't, it's been funny. Like everyone's just been really cool and just wants us to grow. So nobody's been too critical of us. We've had a lot of critical people online. We've had a lot of criticism on our pricing, on our everything. Man, everybody has ideas about what we should be doing online. But everyone that's been here has been happy with us. So it's like everyone online that's never been here, that's unhappy and whatever, all that does is kind of reinforce the fact that we're doing really cool stuff.
People that don't even have a car to work on anyways,
well, it's not even
something like that.
It's not even that. It's just like, if you're willing to sort of try to tear someone else's idea down that we've actually put in the time to do, not just, oh, my brother's cousin's uncle thought about doing that. Oh, I wanted to do that. Oh, my friend and I were going to do this in Texas, or my friend and I were going to do this in Atlanta, or I'm working on doing this somewhere else. Like, we've done it. And everyone that has come here has given us positive feedback. I promise you there's never been anybody that's left here unhappy. So that's just like, those people are who we're trying to please. It's not the people that are watching our Instagram reels. Like our Instagram reels exist to make you know we exist. That's like,
I'm sure most of the people that actually step foot in this building probably haven't even commented on any or I mean, I'm sure they like the
Yeah,
videos,
yeah.
but
Well, a lot of that, but a lot of it too is like until you actually do step in the building, it's hard to actually conceptualize what it's like because on camera some of these things don't look the same. We've noticed like everyone that walks through the door is like, wow, it seems way bigger than it looked on camera. It's like, well, it's not a tiny cramped place. Like I don't know if cameras make it look that way.
you
Or
think it'd
what.
almost be beneficial because like you're in real estate, so you
Yeah.
understand this. Beneficial to do a 3D rendering of the place where people can kind of like click through the building.
It might be kind of a cool idea. We could do something like that. We're still
Yeah.
every day coming up with new ideas on how we can kind of explain, what all we got.
Yeah.
Because that's been the hardest bridge to cross is just to like because it's hard to talk about in such a short amount of time. Instagram Reels are also really hard to tell you everything you would need to know to maybe want to come by. So it just takes a little bit like we're having to creatively educate people on what all we got to offer, basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, props to you, man.
Well,
That's
thank you.
awesome. I've got to ask though, what is the total number that it costed or roughly to even develop something like this?
I don't.
Keep in mind this is Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't think I would necessarily even be comfortable telling anyone because it's not really important for anyone to know, but it's just kind of like we do want to grow this into multiple locations in multiple states. And so like to give away certain aspects of our business that people have asked us to seems to me just like a bad idea. Like I don't, we're completely transparent. I mean, you can come in and kind of probably figure it out, I guess, if you wanted to. You could kind of add up things in your head, but it's just like I'll say it's like it's not an immense amount of money. It's something that obviously was doable with 3 people with the right attitudes. But it's definitely not just something to do on a whim that you're just gonna go out and do. And there's so many expenses that add up, like $8,000 or $10,000 worth of electrical work to get 5 lifts going. Nobody's gonna think of that, but that's a number I'll definitely
That's the
happily give
stuff
away.
that I'm kind of more curious
Yeah.
on. Like
Yeah,
obviously,
like, I mean,
tools
like,
and people can add that
raw
up. That's
numbers and
easy.
stuff. Yeah, I don't mind to talk about like $8,800 in electrical work just for the lifts and like no, that's not true. We had lifts and we had some circuits added up here in the lounge because this was nothing. The railing and stuff way more expensive than you would think it should be. And
Metal alone is expensive right now. So.
yeah, and installation of the lifts, like each lift to go in the ground, like you've already bought the lift, so then you got to pay like another $1,000 per lift just to get it like in the ground. So
Dude.
it's just like stuff comes up, and then you realize, oh, well, we've done all this, and we still don't have funnels. Or
diabolical, dude.
Yeah, or whatever, and so like. Just every little it's like it's
crazy.
honestly it's putting this business together is almost exactly like doing an LS swap where like every little thing at the end like $100 you to death.
Yeah,
but it's on a much larger scale. Oh man,
it's just $1,000 you to death.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But we made it through. I think we did a really good job. I think the amount of money that we didn't spend was only possible because of the combined experiences that we had. And a big part of it for me is like, I know you can get high quality tools that are not thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars if you shop them correctly. Like a lot of the Icon stuff is fantastic. People just don't really try it out sometimes. Or even the Quinn, like the Quinn master socket sets that Harbor Freight has. We have the 1/4 drive, the 1/2 drive, and the 3/8 drive. Really nice sets. The ratchets are super nice. You can play with them. They click really nice.
Yeah.
It's just like it.
Wait, what happens if someone breaks the tool?
Well, like if a tool just breaks from normal use, then okay. Everything we have has a warranty, so we can kind of, to a point, take care of that. If someone's obviously being negligent, again, really good security cameras, really good ability to know exactly what happened with that tool. If you're standing on one of our 3/8 ratchets with a jack handle, well, you just so for things like that, we do have in the waiver that if you intentionally misuse or neglect or whatever, that was interesting. Something started up out there. Yeah.
Wow.
3 times the cost of the tool. So if you throw the Milwaukee Impact on the ground and you break the friction ring off it or whatever, then you bought 1 times 3. It's just part of, again, everyone's been really super cool with everything so far. I think the worst thing we did have happen, we had like a socket get hopelessly stuck on a bolt. Like never
Just
was
cut it off.
Yeah, just forget that socket, and he had to get a new nut or whatever, I think. But that's like
That'd be the least of my worries.
yeah. But hopefully none of the major, like the big concerns of mine are obviously the expensive power tools. Like that's what needs to be treated with care. But everyone, again, just been, I feel like I'm repeating that a lot. Everyone's been super cool with everything, whatever, but it just is
it's new, so like
reality.
you kind of it's just a natural like habit of explaining all this stuff to people.
That's been like probably the number one question of just interactions with people that don't really necessarily know a lot about the business, or friends and family, whatever, especially like at Christmas time and Thanksgiving. Like,
oh, I'm sure you got the earful.
Oh man, everyone wanted to know everything, but I wonder if they can hear that. So there's
a little bit.
There's some guys across the street at one of the businesses that have some cars, and they make noise, but that's not us. That has nothing to do with us, believe it or not. We're closed today. Where was I? What was it? Oh yeah, the squirrel man. It's just completely squirrel moment. But number one question from friends and family has been like, well, are people breaking stuff left and right, or are people stealing stuff? And it's like, I guess everyone just in this day and age kind of assumes everyone sucks. And like, I get it. I kind of thought.
I don't think people account for, like, when you're at home working on your own car, you are bound to be more negligent with your own shit.
Yeah.
But as soon as you step into something like this, especially the way it looks and the atmosphere in here, I would be heavily more cautious with everything that I touched.
Well,
so I
maybe
think people
that's how
will
everyone
naturally
feels.
have that.
I mean, I think that's been the case. But it could all change tomorrow, like we are so new. If thousands more people started coming, I guess like on a percentage basis, more things are going to probably start happening. But I just have such a positive feeling about the people that we attract and the environment, like you say, that we've created, where it just, people want to take care of things that they want to keep coming to, that they treat it well.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone wants to sign up, what is just the easiest way to do that?
Just go to lategarage.com. There's a Become a Member tab. Super easy to do. Or go to our Instagram at Late Garage. Also a Become a Member tab at the top in our bio. Really, really easy, straightforward. You're not held to it. You can cancel it anytime. If you want to do just 1 month, you don't have to do a recurring membership. There's a big discount if you do the recurring membership. Most people have converted so far that started out on a month-to-month basis. But
what if someone pays for like the whole year up front?
We thought about we're probably going to offer some specials maybe throughout the year and do this and that, whatever. But for right now, it's just a massive discount on a monthly. But that's not a bad idea. I mean, a year to year discount. The thing I don't really like about that is, the last thing I want to do is sort of take advantage of anyone forgetting that they have a membership and that it auto renews in a whole year. Like, that's a long time. Like, I don't know about you, but like my Amazon Prime membership renews and I'm like, where did that $100 and something go? I don't want that to happen to people. So I feel like a month to month is a lot easier to remember, like, okay, this bill's coming out. If for some reason somebody wants to cancel, needs to cancel, whatever, it's a lot easier to remember to do it that way, in my opinion. That's my only little pushback on that, but we could offer it, just be a,
I'm a total outsider, so I'm just like throwing shit out there.
No, I like the idea. I just I always like everything that we do with the pricing and everything. We try to make it really transparent, so we're not trying to take advantage of anyone. I genuinely think our pricing is really fair, especially if you look at like what you would have to spend if you, like, say you got to go buy all the tools for it, whatever. You're definitely going to spend some money. Then you still don't have this building. You still don't have the lift. You still don't have the giant gas heater throughout the winter, and it'll be nice and cozy in the summer too. So like, it's worth something. You can't say that that's not worth anything. But that's been a lot of the problem with the online comments, is like, oh, you're so expensive. I could have so and so mechanic do it or whatever. It's like, mechanic labor is like $180 an hour on the low end, in my experience. I mean, I don't know, like, I don't get work done on anything, but like I know shop labor rates like $180, $200 an hour is not crazy. And that is nowhere close to what we are, like nowhere close. So it's like, why would you even make that argument? But again, it's nobody that's actually been here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It won't be.
Yep.
It's just going to be people hating that are across the country anyways. But yeah, this is Tennessee, Laverne, Tennessee.
Yep.
It's about, 20 minutes south of Nashville, you'd say?
Yeah, right between Nashville and Murfreesboro, 111 Lasalle Court. You can find it real easy. If you just look up Lake Garage on Google Maps, we're pop up.
Well, cool. Other than this, though, like, how is your program? How's your life going?
Yeah, I guess, this is a drifting podcast. We could talk about my program and stuff like that.
I mean, if people want to know who you are, don't like your whole drifting and stuff, they can go watch all the other
I've been
episodes
on here
too.
plenty
But
of
just
times,
to touch on it.
Just dropped off C6 in Canada with Josh Gunby, FabMac Industries. That's a big project that's finally kind of coming to a head. I've talked about that on this podcast several times in the past, and it has taken me way longer than it probably should have to actually, but like, that's another thing, like this business, like you just have a budget that you have to have or not have, and you can either do it or not. And I waited until I'm able to finish out the project that I want that C6 to be, because I didn't want to half-ass anything on that car. But yeah, it's in Canada. Excuse me. It's in Canada now with all of its parts and pieces, and it'll become a race car along with Andrew Shorkey's. They'll be kind of sort of twins of each other. We're at a distance, they'll be exact twins, but then you get up close, there'll be a lot of differences as far as the individual touches and stuff. But they're going to be weapons. It's going to be really cool.
That's awesome, dude. Are you going to be going ice drifting whenever it happens?
I certainly hope so. I have been told that I am. So
Same. I'm just waiting on Shorkey to let me know.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be there at the same time. That would be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be great. I know there's a car there at the FabMac shop that is for the ice drifting. I saw the studded tires when I was up there last week.
Shorkey said he had 3 BMWs ready to go.
Yeah,
so
I think I just saw
solid.
I think I just saw one of the wagons. Maybe they were over parked beside it or whatever. But yeah, they're definitely there. So I know it exists. I know.
Fuck yeah. Would you drive? Are you gonna drive up if you go?
If for that, probably not. I mean, I drove truck and trailer. That's an interesting story on its own. I drove truck and trailer.
Sure.
It was like, it worked out to be in like 17 or 18 hours, but drove my truck with the trailer with the C6 chassis on its suspension rolling, no engine in it, no trans in it, just all of it in the trailer.
Yeah.
And man, Canadian Border Patrol did not like that. They did not. They just didn't like me, I don't think.
He was ginger.
Yeah, I don't know. It was serious. They tore apart the truck. They tore apart the trailer. They asked me all kind of questions. Like,
wow.
It was like they didn't believe that you would. I mean, I guess I get it. Like, why would you drive a car that's in pieces in a trailer all the way from Tennessee to Canada? Is there nowhere in the United States that you could have done this work? Like, it's basically what they kept asking me. Like, why this place? Like, why there? Like. And then it was a whole thing, like they asked to see proof of like an invoice or something. And wouldn't you know, his invoice, the address doesn't match his actual business address, because it's the business address, but not the man. And so it was just a long drawn out process that ultimately literally ended in me showing them Instagram videos to prove, like, yeah, this is just the stuff that I do. Like, I know it's weird, but this is actually me. And they just sent me on my way. It wasn't. It ultimately was.
How long were you there?
I struggle to actually remember, because it was a pretty stressful experience. Truthfully, like, I think it was probably like under an hour, but it felt like days.
Oh God, yeah.
But I was the only person in the secondary inspection or whatever. I was trying to cross the border. It was like 9 p.m.
So mad.
It was freezing cold. I didn't think about like getting ready to be pulled out of the truck at the border, so I was not dressed to be standing out in the wind. And they like had me get out of the truck, and I was like, "Can I get my jacket?" And they're like, "Leave it where it is for now." And I'm like, "Cool."
I'm gonna be freezing.
So there I was, just like literally kind of shivering in this like breezeway thing that they were inspecting all my stuff in. But they had me like give them my trailer keys and open my generator compartment, and they went through all the parts boxes because I had like a bunch of Willwood brake stuff inside the tub of the C6. Opened all the boxes, looked at the clutch, shine flashlights down in the exhaust ports of the engine. Like,
What?
yeah, it was a
Oh
fun
my
experience.
God.
But I mean, they were just doing their job. Like, I didn't give them any trouble, like, obviously, but it was just they were a little maybe more aggressive than I think would have been necessary for someone that was being like really cooperative. But it was fine. It was whatever. We got on to Canada and had no trouble coming back across the border to the U.S. But I didn't have anything in the trailer even. They didn't, but the guy was like, "What are you here for? How long are we gone? All right, bye." The end. Yeah, which I guess it's different. I was not a Canadian citizen entering my home country with a trailer. I was an outsider entering another country with a trailer.
Just making sure you ain't leaving with
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, but that was fun. Successful experience otherwise though.
Yeah.
Got the car dropped off. It's in good hands. I trust Josh and all those guys up there, Chris and Kyle and Adam. They're just wonderful people. I trust them with my life and my car. It's still weird that I'm not gonna be putting a lot of hands on that project. That's still weird to me. The only I guess as far as it'll go from me is I put all the suspension stuff together.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta feel good to be at that kind of point in a way.
It's nerve-wracking. It does feel really good. I mean, it's what I've wanted to do for a long time, and especially getting involved in more things like this business and all the other stuff that I was already doing. Like, I haven't quit doing anything. So like, I don't have a bunch of time. And what I've learned every time that I've been with Josh and seen his work or seen his shop, for anyone that doesn't know, FabMac Industries in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Drift car specialization in general is what I would say, but they do a lot of other stuff. Every time I see stuff that he does with cars, I'm like, man, that's like so many years ahead of like what I would have thought of yet. Like, he's been there, done that. He's got, I don't even know how many cars now total he's had in Formula Drift that he has built or are currently in Formula Drift that he's built. And they're all performing well. None of his work has been any problems.
Yeah.
So it's like he
sick.
knows what he's doing. His shop knows. Like, Chris, wiring guru, wiring genius. Well, like, when he tells me like, "Oh, your 28 channel PDM is gonna do this, and this," and I'm like, "Cool." I just know it's gonna do it, and I know it's gonna work, and I'm not gonna be sitting there probing, trying to find 12 volts. Like,
Dude, yeah, you were doing some nightmares.
oh man, the electrical problems of the C5 is just. I'm glad to be past that though. I rewired it, built its own chassis harness, and it's good now.
Are you still gonna do comp this
yeah,
year, like pro-am stuff? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I can't not. I like kind of briefly kicked around the idea of like, well, I don't think the C6 is probably going to be done in time to start the season. So I was like, well, do I wait? Do I this? Do I whatever? Like, do I just kind of, I thought about like, maybe I just use that car and learn it in a year of like grid life or something like that and go do some festival stuff. And I don't know, but I really want to compete. I just really want to. I have a lot more fun doing that. As long as everything works correctly. And now that my car is working correctly, like I just want to go. That was like the thing is like the car having fuel issues and having electrical issues and catching on fire and insert problem here. Like, that plagued me for so long that it kind of did take away a little bit of my enjoyment. But now that the car works, I can just kind of take it to the track and change the tires and cool. Like I'll do that anytime. Yeah. The hardest part at that point is just, keeping the budget together to buy enough tires, because that was the thing. Like, when the car wasn't running that well, I did use less tires.
Not a bad problem.
That was like the only silver lining is like I used a lot less tires, used a lot less fuel. But yeah, no, I'm happy with it. It's great. Awesome. Yeah, I could go to the track right now. That's the big success for me on that car is right this moment I could load it in the trailer and go shred. No problems.
Good, dude.
Yeah. And that's like,
I'll catch up at some point.
Months ahead of Pro-Am. That's the first time that's ever happened. I could go drive it right now, and they don't even have a schedule released. Think about that. Man, me 2 or 3 years ago I would give myself a big high five for that. That's an accomplishment.
Well, hell yeah, dude. Well, I know you got some plans tonight, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
I think we're all right for a couple more minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we got more to talk about. If we're done, we're done.
Yeah. No, I mean, I continue to talk as much as I want, really. But
I guess you don't have any rules. No, I just got a few more minutes for sure. I definitely wanted to ask you if you had any good stories from PRI this year, because I got a fun one to share with you.
stories.
Yeah, because
No, we
it's
actually
been
didn't
long
do
enough now I
anything
can tell it, and nobody's, I think,
crazy.
going to get in trouble.
Wait, what?
So we ended up going out and jumping this rental van over some railroad tracks.
No way.
Yeah, no. So just to
yeah.
preface this, I don't think anyone inside the entire vehicle had one drop of alcohol. Like, this is just what we did. So
Oh my.
so
We did some drag racing in a parking lot. That was about it.
yeah.
And
So
some rental.
I was in the front seat of this Mercedes van that the FabMac guys had rented to drive down from Canada in, and Josh was driving, and then we had the whole van filled with. I'm gonna send you clips of this. I hope.
All right. Yeah.
So we were driving back from. We had been out doing some karting. We went to the indoor Indy. Like, it's pretty cool karts. It's like a multi.
K1. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah,
K1
but
speed.
they're gas karts, but they're indoor. Yeah, you leave there smelling like gas and oil and all kind of crap, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But we were driving back to the Airbnb, and we go across these railroad tracks, and Josh like kind of hit the gas a little bit. I was like, I bet you could do that again. And he was
That's all
like,
you need is a little peer pressure.
he took the bait for sure. So we ended up like going back and forth, and like the van was in kilometers per hour, so I'm not exactly sure what the speeds equate to, but I know like we jumped this railroad track at like at least 80 or 90 kilometers an hour. So I think it's like close to 60 miles an hour, which keep in mind the road was completely covered in snow. It was not the.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and there was probably like 10 people in this van, but that was I just needed that story to get out there into the
That's
wild.
fun.
But
Yeah. Well, at least we'll get the video footage.
yeah, I'll definitely send you the video. That's one of my highlights of PRI ever.
Yeah, we didn't do anything really crazy. I think we had a 4Runner, and then there's like an Audi A5 or something like that. And the 4Runner though was like the TRD, like the big boy
Oh, yeah,
package.
yeah.
So it kind of boogied, and all the speed bumps and shit out there, no problem at all. But for some reason, they thought that the dude driving the 4Runner thought the 4Runner would beat the Audi in like a. I'm sorry, this parking lot was like maybe 200 feet. Like, it was nothing. Not even a eighth of a mile or anything. It was stupid as shit. I can throw that video up too, but that was about it.
No, I had a pretty
was
chill
crazy.
PRI this year too, I guess, in general. I just that highlight had to get out there. I've been waiting to tell. We didn't post anything about it. We didn't say anything about it because we were like, we didn't want him to get in trouble with like the rental company or anything. I don't know if it could have been, but I think it's been far enough away now where we can share the video.
I don't think it matters. Oh well. Well, you want to share anything else about late or anything
I
that we
would like to
missed?
say again, definitely go visit our website, lategarage.com. You can learn a little bit more about us. You can see what some of our membership options look like. If you have any questions, shoot us a message on Instagram. We're really active on there. We'll try to get back to you, or leave us a comment on one of our posts. We usually respond to most of the comments that at least are constructive, like we're not, not going to take time. I'm not going to take time to respond to everybody that's kind of trolling or whatever, but please come see us. We would love to welcome everyone through the door and make more people capable of working on their own vehicles. That's really what we're here for at the end of the day, is just to be a place where everyone can come and learn and be together with people that feel the same way. And again, it's a comfortable and a safe and a relaxing environment to get stuff done, or if you want to hang out and do nothing at all, you can do that too.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you letting me come in, especially when y'all are closed.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And yeah, I'm sure we'll see you again in the future.
Yeah, I'll be back next year, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like every New Year episode. So.
Yeah, like a whole new Star Wars series. Like episode 6 is next.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, cool, man. I appreciate it. And all that stuff will be in the description too, so you can check it out. But,
See you guys next time.
Sounds good. See ya. Man, what a fantastic interview with Wesley Cloud once again. I hope you guys enjoyed it, especially digging into this new concept of a mechanic shop that they have, Lake Garage, especially their nighttime stuff and everything else they have going on. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to leave the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if you learned anything or think I missed anything as far as questions, drop them in the comments so that I can do a little better next time and make these even more interesting. But if you're looking for more YouTube things, this is probably the best video for you. And if you want to just jump on our channel and kind of see what all we have, you can click it right here too. But appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.